This prelude sits in between preludes 6 and 8, both of which are quite gloomy and dense, heavy pieces, dark. And this one is quite the opposite. It's a bit more light, charming. It's a respite from the two pieces on either side, and it has a lot of character. Even though it's so short, it's just 2 lines long. It's not going to take me very long to teach it to you. There's a lot of character in there, so I'm going to take a little bit extra time to dive into the character of the piece and try to bring that to the fore. So I'll begin, as usual, by playing the beginning of the piece, the first, 10, 15 seconds, which is like half the piece in this case. And then I'll start from the beginning, and I'll show you everything slowly so that you can do this yourself, so you can learn it yourself. So here goes. There's your first phrase. And it repeats with a different ending. So here's where I'll stop before the resolution. Very unsatisfying. All right, so I'll begin with the left hand because it's so bare. There's not really that much to do. And it's very easy, and then we can focus our attention more on the right hand once the left hand is in our back pockets. Okay, we begin in just simple E's for the first 2 bars. The piece is in 3/4 time, but each one of these little units is like a crystalline ball that stands on its own, but then is strung together to form the piece at large. So we have a bass here on E and 3 octave E's. That's kind of just hanging out there in limbo, in abeyance. And then next, A. Three and 1, 3 times. Simple enough, right? With the counts, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Simple enough. This whole piece is very sweet and elegant, so be sure that every moment of the piece, especially in the left hand, is played quite gently, very gingerly, no pushing. You should never be pushing to begin with, even if you're playing loudly, but here especially, be very relaxed and just sink into the keys like you're sinking into sand. Okay, now the right hand. Obviously the melody is the top line. And the chord that accompanies that melodic line, these 2 notes should be quieter than the top. So 1, pick up, and then 4, 5, 3, and then these you can just repeat twice more. 1, 2, and 3. Like that. One small detail, when you're going from the 5 to the chord, it's very easy to have to rush to reach this chord. So when you begin the piece, and when you sit on the 4, before you go to the 5 on D, make sure that these 2 fingers get into position. Right? Don't play the 5 and then panic and look for where the position is. If you panic, you'll end up landing too loud and it'll sound coarse and it'll sound clumsy. So just make sure that when you arrive at the 4, the 2 and the 1 get into position, and then it's simply like a seesaw from 5 to 3, 2, 1. and then you repeat those. Any piece of advice I can give you as far as how to lighten the touch, I'll give you. It's really relevant for this piece. With the counts, we have the pickup, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and with both hands, 3 and pickup together, get into position, and you'll notice that the left hand and right hand are overlapping, but they shouldn't conflict. The thumb of the right hand should be a little bit higher, the thumb of the left hand should be a little bit lower, so they shouldn't really have to touch here. They shouldn't really have to cross swords too much. Right. They're not in each other's way, hopefully. Simple enough. Now, the pedaling, I'll give you what I do, but just you should know that the pedaling for a piece like this is really dependent on you. It depends on how much of the bass note you want to keep. But let me at least give you what I do, and then I'll give you some alternatives, depending also on your instrument. If you have a boomy instrument, the pedalings I'm about to give you might be a little too fast and loose, so to speak. Okay, so pedal, and then right before you play the next notes, lift, and then the next note come in. I think, for my money, it sounds really nice if you put just a little bit of silence between the first phrase, the first little crystalline ball, and the pickup to the next phrase. So not a lot of space. But enough that you can hear it and it feels like we're entering something fresh. All right, moving into the next section, we know the left hand has this. The right hand will have 4 and 2. Again, the melody is in the top. Right, that's what the right hand is doing, but the melody is. And everything below it is an accompaniment to that melody. It's just it sits just below to give it harmonic support. So make sure that the 4 here is a little bit louder than the 2 beneath it. That's 4, 2. 3, 1. Make sure to connect 4 and 2 to 3 and 1. Next, we lift the 3. 3, 2. And then you switch on that 2 to 1, and you end up on 5 and 1. And you play those guys 3 times. So from here, 3 and 2, switch to 1, and 1, 5 3 times. And as you can see, it's quite quick moving between that. In tempo, it'll be that's the dotted rhythm there. And when you do that switch, bounce your wrist ever so slightly. Don't tighten up as you do that move. If you tighten up, you'll land way too heavy. So everything has to be loose and bouncy. Take your time with it, and all of that can be quite relaxed and calm. When you put that together, think about where you're going the right hand, and then land on 5 and 1. That's where the hands align. Together, together, together. Once more. And again. The pedaling here, let's move it back to the beginning of this piece. Lift pedal, and then change, and that little mixing there, right? This and this. We do have a little bit of dissonance there, so depending on your instrument, you can either change the pedal on the arrival of A major, or just keep the pedal down. I like that. I like keeping the pedal down. It also allows the bass note to hang around, because if you change the pedal over here, we kill the bass. That's the trade-off. Change, and just hold them. And taper off a little bit on those 3 chords. Each one of these endings is a little bit like a question. None of them is really finished. None of them feel complete. All of them are a little bit, floating in limbo, held in abeyance until the next unit comes in. Put those 2 together. Like that. So far, so good. And then we move into the next one. That one we'll cover in the next part of the tutorial. So join me over there and let's move on forward. Lovely little piece, and it'll take maybe just a few days for you to learn it. There's not a whole lot for you to do with this music. See you in just a bit.